Hi, this is Andrew, and welcome to my podcast. Today we'll be talking about why online education is beneficial. Before getting into too many of the reasons why right away, I just want to preface it with some, just a thought. Education itself has been assessed extremely similarly for the last 50, 60, even 100 years. A student will go to a teacher in person and get instruction, and they'll be assigned a homework assignment of some sort. They'll complete that, turn it back in, and they'll get a grade within the next couple days or a week or so, whatever the average time is. And that's worked somewhat, right? But obviously that system has failed a lot of people. The amount of high school dropouts in the nation and the amount of people who don't complete school is actually quite startling. And so I believe online education is a great way for people who don't necessarily feel that that's the best way for them. I feel like it's great for those types of people, and also for like other people as well. For example, I've taken online classes before, and I do like traditional learning where I go in and learn because that helps me, but I also like online classes where I can go into a class, take my time, and do the work at a speed that works for me. Recently, even this semester, I've taken 2 online courses. I took one in economics, and I've taken one in anthropology, and I did both well in both classes, partially due to the reason that I was able to sit down, go through the slides, the notes at my own pace, and learn the material in a way that suited me. And I was able to take my time, go through the quizzes, and put my knowledge out there to the best of my ability. And I believe, like online education, this is the way it should go. This actually reminds me of a quote from a TED Talk in 2017. A distinguished educational psychologist said, "It makes no sense to expect all students to take the same amount of time to achieve the same objectives." The luxury of choice is another great part of online education because, unlike previously, a student can learn from anywhere in the world. Anywhere with internet access becomes a hub for learning, and I personally believe that to be one of the reasons why online education is absolutely incredible. I could be, which I have done in the past, is work on homework from England where I'm visiting my family, and this is honestly... This is great that I can do this because I'm not stressed about missing a certain class because of the fact that I can turn something in online. And that's not a luxury that most people had in the past. Also there's the issue of commute to campus, which with an online class you don't necessarily need to do. The flexibility allowed in an online course can allow students to learn the information during a time that is convenient for them, as I mentioned previously. And I've also noticed that a lot of students, it's hard for them to pay attention in lecture. For example, I'll see a lot of my friends on their phone during class on a lecture, and they're obviously not getting the point of the lecture, so why even be there? And why would they might as well just be reading the notes online, which a lot of them do afterwards. A lot of students also are better learners at night, and some are better learners in the morning. And if they have a class that's a lecture that's only being taught at 7:30 in the morning, then they can't necessarily attend that and be fully functional. But a lot of them are forced to, and they're not in their optimal learning stage of the day. So those are obvious reasons for why online education is beneficial. And also it's not normal lectures aren't too individualized, if you know what I'm saying. Many lecture courses can exceed 300 students, which is way too many for professors to give a customized education. Whereas with online learning courses, a lot of times the professors will give feedback to students, and immediate grades are put in on Blackboard assignments, which I believe is extremely good because a student can see immediate feedback to where a normal teacher might take a week or even, in some cases a month to grade. So as well as a lot of critics of online education doubt the students accountability when completing an online course. For example, they don't believe that a student can actually go through the lecture course online and read the slides and do everything that goes along with that. And I understand that there are a lot of irresponsible people out there that may not fully try to learn online and may just look for answers online, and it happens. But at that point, that's on the student and not the institution. The institution did not fail, and I just think that we shouldn't look at online education a bad thing just because a couple people do not take it seriously. And I think, the last thing that probably goes along with online education is just its revolution, like I hinted at before a little bit. At one point in time, the only way to watch movies was to go to the cinema, right? And go watch your movie, and go with your family or whatever, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever. Go to a movie, and that was it. And shortly after that, there became a movie. Shortly after that, TV sets came out, and then you could start watching stuff from home. And then shortly after that, there was full-on DVDs, VHS tapes, and so on. And I think that online education can be looked at like that. Online education can be even look at Netflix. Now you can watch a movie from wherever you want with just internet access, and I think that's absolutely incredible. A lot of employers nowadays, though, this is just a final thought, a lot of employers are just starting to change their opinions on online degrees and believing that it can be just as legitimate as the traditional route. This actually came from a website in 2017. In 2010, 83% of CEOs believed online degrees to be as credible as traditional ones. This is significant because, before that it was way less. But as of 2014, 98% of universities in the United States offered online programs. This shows that if 98% of universities accept it, then that shows that it is credible and that people are starting to get behind it and that it should be a thing. It does appear, though, as if the United States is on its way to becoming a country where online instruction dominates the education. I don't only believe online education is a good thing, but I think it's the way of the future. And I think people must be on board. So I hope you guys got everything in that podcast, but that's it for me. Have a great day, night, whatever time you're listening to, and I'll catch you